Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. Thanks for joining Crime Talk. All right, first on the docket today, politicians, they are only sorry when they get caught. Let me give you an example. The judge in the Delphi case calls the defense attorneys sloppy, negligent, and incompetent. I can't wait for this trial. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she's back in the headlines. And what is very clear is the apple does not fall too far from the tree. And then our dumb criminal of the day. Let's talk about it.
Hi, lawyer.
Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Scott Reich, and this is Crime Talk. Hope you're having a great day. All right. Yes, we are casual today because we are heading out of town. But before we leave, we want to do a quick show for you. I hope you appreciate it. I certainly appreciate all of you watching our channel. All right. We have a busy day for you as well. We are live streaming the Karen Reed trial from Massachusetts. We have the Chad Daybell trial, and we will also bring you the hearing in the Brian Kohberger matter today. You know that's going to be interesting. So keep hitting that little bell so that you get notifications of when we go live or put up new content. All right, let's go ahead and open the record for May 2nd, 2024. And first on the docket, yes, another example of politicians. They're only sorry when they get caught. All right. Now, this next story was sent to us from a fan named Jen. Appreciate the heads up. Obviously, sometimes we don't get to see every story out there about true crime. Anyway, so the Lexington, Kentucky Police Department has posted a video. It's a body cam video. It's about 25 minutes long, and it's from the Lexington Fayette Urban County Councilwoman Tanya Fogel's March 10th arrest. Now, Tuesday, the same day the charges against Miss Fogel, Councilwoman Fogel, I should be clear, were dropped. Now, the video was posted to the police department's YouTube channel and its social media accounts Tuesday afternoon. And what does it show? Well, it shows Councilwoman Fogel at a local AT&T store. And two of the video include body-worn camera footage from the officers who responded to the scene. And the third footage is from AT&T security cameras. Now, Fogel had previously said that she went to the store because she was having repeated problems with her account. Now, in the first video, which is the bulk of the released footage, you can see the body cam video of an officer, Sharp, who was seen walking into the store and asked Fogel to leave after a manager said they tried to help her and then she escalated for some reason. Now, the police did not release the officer's first name involved in the arrest, but you can hear it quite clearly. "I'm not escalating," Fogel told the manager in the video. Now, Officer Sharp told Fogel again to leave and said she would go to jail if she didn't, right? Simple trespass. You need to leave. You don't leave, you get arrested. It's simple like that. Of course, the councilwoman said, "Lock up the council member?" Fogel said, "Can you just leave me alone and let me calm down? You are not above the law, and either I know my rights." Fogel then asked the officer to give her 5 minutes to calm down. Well, Sharp refused and told Ms. Fogel she had to go. "You are not above the law because you are a council member," Sharp said. Fogel said the real problem was that she was not the right color. Oh, the old race card, because Ms. Fogel is black. Anyway, after telling Officer Sharp she was not refusing to leave, Fogel then started to walk out with her cell phone pointing towards him. As she neared the front door, Sharp grabbed her arm, which Fogel was seen slapping back. "Don't touch me." Then Sharp then told Fogel she was under arrest. Fogel repeatedly asked Officer Sharp not to touch her, and Sharp replied, "You're going to jail." Officer Sharp placed his hands on Fogel's coat and told her to stop resisting. Fogel said she was not resisting arrest, and she walked out. "I'm walking outside when you put your hands on me," Fogel said. Eventually, multiple officers arrived at the scene. Officers were seen putting Fogel in handcuffs before she was placed into the police car, and which arrived after the released video footage ends. Now, Fogel was initially charged with criminal trespass, menacing, and resisting arrest. all misdemeanors. Yes, they are. But guess what? On Tuesday, a judge dismissed the charges at the recommendation of a special prosecutor who said there was not enough evidence for the charges against Fogel to go forward. Really? Property owner says, you need to leave. Ms. Fogel says, I'm not leaving. Police officer says, ma'am, you need to leave. If you don't leave, you're trespassing. Okay, she leaves, but the officer was already saying, you're under arrest. I get it. It's kind of a close call, but you would think, and this is the thing, like whether it's the district attorney from New York or this person, man, if you're in public service, you need to do it better and cleaner than everybody else, because the reality of it is you're the ones passing laws. And if the people that are passing the laws and enforcing the laws have no respect for the law, why would you expect anyone else to have any respect for the law? Anyway, we'll see. Maybe Ms. Fogel will get recalled. Councilwoman Fogel did submit a statement and basically said it's odd that the police department would release body cam footage when they normally do not do so. And she states that the police must not respect or trust in the judicial system or the opinion of the special prosecutor or the judge or the law. And Ms. Fogel goes on saying, let's keep praying for our community to have peace. Children are dying. People are unhoused and hungry. Well, the Lexington Police Department did not regularly release body cam footage, but they did put this up on YouTube. Why? Because of so many media inquiries. So they just put it up for the world to see. And they said, well, and it was released after the case was dismissed, which is the policy of most police departments around the country. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Another politician. Hey, I get it. Presumption of innocence, case dismissed, she's innocent. But why would you put yourself in that situation? And she's escalating over her account? Are you kidding me? Come on, people. If you want to be in public service, one, simple. Do it better and cleaner than everybody else. And two, don't profit from your position. I don't care who you are, what party you're from. You go into public service, you go do that job, and you leave. That's one of the reasons why the compensation was purposely held low, because it was never meant to be a career. And then you move on and go back to the private sector. Next, yes, Delphi. Special Judge Francis C. Gull has found the defense attorneys for Richard Allen, yes, the Delphi homicide suspect. She states that they were sloppy, negligent, and incompetent. But she declined to hold the pair in contempt. Who said that? Who said she didn't think she was going to find him in contempt? And if they were, it would probably be after the trial. But anyway, I can't wait for this trial, ladies and gentlemen, when the judge thinks that you are a walking, incompetent, bumbling boob. And she says, as we brought you the story yesterday, that your alternate suspect defense isn't going to fly. And we'll probably get this trial done in 2 weeks. I can't wait for this trial. I just wish that it was televised, Judge Gull. So anyway, let's get to the heart of it. So Judge Gull's order is in regards to the March 18th hearing where the Carroll County prosecutor, Nicholas McClellan, filed a motion to hold the defense attorneys, Andrew Baldwin and Bradley Rozzi, in contempt, saying that they had leaked evidence, and that evidence came back to the attorneys, and he also said that the attorneys violated the gag order. So the attorneys, Rozzi and Baldwin, they represent Richard Allen, obviously accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi 7 years ago. Now, Rozzi and Baldwin were originally thrown off the case by Judge Francis C. Gull because she thought that they were incompetent, committed malpractice, and basically shouldn't be practicing law. We've talked about this on numerous shows, so we won't go through it all over again, but Bradley and Rozzi appealed to the Indiana Supreme Court, and the Indiana Supreme Court said, hey, if Mr. Allen wants these two attorneys that are supposedly incompetent boobs, they can certainly do so, and it's not the judge's right to protect the defendant from his own choices. I get it. But these guys have about 70 years of criminal defense experience between them. They were originally appointed because they were experienced criminal defense attorneys, and now they're going out there doing their job for Mr. Allen, and they've been criticized. The whole thing about, somebody that you trust, a former employee, goes into a room and takes photograph of pictures that when you're not there, I guess it should have all been under lock and key. The judge knows that's not realistic. Anyone who's ever been in private practice knows that's the case. So, yes, you lock up the filing cabinets at night. Yes, you lock all the doors. You do all that stuff. But in the middle of the day, somebody walks by and takes pictures of things from people that you trust. How is that necessarily your fault? I just don't think it. Anyway, so Judge Frances C. Gull, I know that's really her name, right? She concluded that the prosecutor had proven by a preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not, that the defense counsel was sloppy, negligent, and incompetent in their handling of the discovery. But once again, calling the pair negligent, incompetent, the judge determined that the prosecutor did not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defense team was acting willfully and intentionally in their so-called sloppy actions. Remember, the prosecutor thought that basically they thought that this was at the will of the attorneys. The attorneys cooperated in finding out who had taken the photos, how they were disseminated to the rest of the world. Anyway, so Frances C. Gull agreed with the defense team's remarks that the pair weren't violating the gag order, as the prosecutor alleged, because that's right, they made the statements before the gag order went into effect. Now, who is sloppy, incompetent when the prosecutor knows that the statements were made before the gag order, but yet proceeded on pursuing that? I think the defense should ask for attorney's fees for having to take the time to defend themselves from such sloppy, incompetent, and negligent performance from the prosecutor. Anyway, we got a trial in a couple of weeks. There is a pretrial hearing set for May 7th where everybody's going to come together and have a big kumbaya there in Indiana to discuss the scheduling issues, because that trial is supposed to begin May 13th. And the judge says, well, you're given 2 weeks to do the trial, and I don't think any of your defense witnesses are really going to be able to be called. Sorry about that, defense attorneys. And we've got 2 weeks, and so that's all you got. The prosecution has endorsed 130 witnesses. Don't see how that's going to get done in 2 weeks, including the at least 3 days the judge thinks it's going to take to get a jury. Can you say cluster? Yep, you fill in the words. God, I wish it was going to be televised. But I think one of the reasons why the judge doesn't want to televise is she knows that she has helped create an absolute cluster. There you go. Next, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. All right. Yeah, the introvert. That's right. She thinks she's an introvert. What we do know about Ms. Blanchard is the apple does not fall too far from the tree. She is a huckster just like her mother, and I think she is anything but an introvert. So apparently she was at some sort of Hollywood event and discussing her release from prison. This was a Lifetime channel event called Conversations on Controversies. And so Gypsy Rose explained the media storm that came her way following release from her 8-year prison sentence. And she noted that she's pretty much an introvert, and coming out and all this media storm hit me, she was really touched by the positivity that people were showing her. And she was also a little shocked by how negative it turned. And she's realized that you can't read the comments because it really affects your mental health. Now, Ms. Blanchard, who has recently made her headlines because she got divorced from her former husband, Ryan Scott Anderson, and then reunited with her ex-fiancé, Ken Urker, and she discussed her, her cosmetic surgery, adding that the event that she ended up taking a step back from the internet And she just recently got back into the internet and learned don't read those comments like I mentioned. So she's trying to live her life the best that she can, and she also said that includes some missteps that she's made. And, because she's a Munchausen by proxy victim, so she, is trying to ride that as long as she can. And she took down a lot of her social media because a lot of media accounts not expressing regret was an advisement by her parole officer, so she could get in trouble and go back to jail. So she apologized for her lack of accountability in her previous interviews in one of her last posts. So because I think a lot of people are saying, whoa, when most people go on parole, they got to go, I think, oh, that's right, get a job or go to school, get your mental health counseling, take UAs. But yet Miss Blanchard is traveling all over the country being some D-list celebrity, I guess. Anyway, I think she's a huckster. I really do. She served 8 of her 10 years that she was sentenced to do. Oh, that's right, for conspiring to kill her mom, Dee Blanchard. And her mom was nothing more than a huckster. She was trying to say, oh, look, the poor child, let's give me all this free stuff. Gypsy Rose doesn't fall from the tree. And you would think maybe she would be out there trying to say, oh, Nicholas Gojon, her then boyfriend at the time, who actually carried out the murder, who is sentenced to a life sentence in first-degree murder. But, she's basically saying she is moving on. And, hey, she got her rhinoplasty and her new blonde hair. So go check out my social media. That's right. Huckster and con man. That's what she is. The introvert in her just forces her to come out, though, to get all her fans. Her fans? Really? Okay, she's not a victim. She pled guilty to conspiring to kill her mom. She is a criminal. And why anyone would look for her for any type of advice is beyond me. She should have a little bit of shame for killing her mom. Oh, I get it. Her mom tried to kill her. I get it, all that stuff. Okay, move along. But she's going to milk that cow as long as she can. All right, next on the docket, our dumb criminal of the day. So this is also a very serious thing. So this guy in Las Vegas, I remember first hearing about this, but I wanted to get a little more information. But there was a guy that was apparently eating another guy's face, the guy that he allegedly murdered, and the guy that was eating the face said he was tweaking, and he heard voices, and he fought with a shape shifter for killing, but it was all done because of a higher power. Okay, so please meet Colin Ichiro Check. He has been charged with the April 28th murder of Kenneth Brown, and police charged Check because he apparently knocked Brown to the ground where his head was forcibly struck upon the concrete repeatedly. And then the witnesses called 911 to report this confrontation, and they reported the man was atop of the victim eating his face while the male was on the ground. This is according to the police reports, ladies and gentlemen. Then when officers arrived at the scene, they spotted Check kneeling on the ground next to Brown's head. Now, Check had blood on his face and his hands and biological matter in his hair, mouth, and on his clothing. Well, Mr. Brown, police say, had an injury to the back of his head and was also missing his left eye and left ear. I wonder how those got removed. Maybe we could ask Mr. Check. Now, like I said, Mr. Check, who claimed to have been attacked by Brown, who he called Drake, told the police that he had been awake for some 5 days straight because something was possessing him. Yes, it's probably called methamphetamine. Anyway, asked what he used to hurt Check, he reportedly replied, "My teeth." And he said that he used his teeth to eat Drake's eyeballs and ears. Well, Mr. Check also told the police that the voices in his head told him to kill the victim, who he didn't know, just some random victim. And during a court appearance, the attorneys for Mr. Check stated that he was incompetent to stand trial, and obviously they wanted to have that competency review. Now, Mr. Check, obviously a very serious case. Usually we'd be a little more lighthearted when it comes to our dumb criminal of the day. But hey, when a guy says that he's eating a man's ear and eyeball because the higher forces told him to, yeah, you're getting there to that dumb criminal. I don't care if you have mental health issues or you are tweaking on whatever drug you think you're doing. But Mr. Check, guess what? When you start taking drugs, it's not incompetent. It's self-medication. Usually takes away that NGRI defense. Anyway, Mr. Check, you are a dumb criminal of the day because, well, don't take drugs, Mr. Check. All right, that's all we have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Got to go catch a flight. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. And remember, the Constitution matters.